Look, it's like the political equivalent of a rock star. When he arrived yesterday to speak at a rally for victory, he got a standing ovation, and I assume that was just because he turned up on time. He didn't say very much of very interested. He got another standing ovation. He's going to speak in the main conference hall today, and he'll get a standing ovation. He will show the activists today, although he'll put on a very loyal show. He'll be showing them the leader they really could have, and the leader I suspect they will have if they lose the next general election. And looking at the polls, they probably will lose.
Well, it's definitely touched something in the general public, hasn't it? They really seem to identify him, and the party are describing him as their star striker. What is it about him, do you think, that has galvanised this amount of support?
It's very interesting because Borris Johnson went to an equally posh school as David Cameron. He went to Eton, he went to Oxford too, so did David Cameron, but he wears that touch of class a lot more lightly. He's got this sort of bumbling, Pooter-esque image, which I can tell you is very carefully cultivated. It's not accidental at all. He spends more time in the mirror in the morning messing up his hair than my grandmother used to spend in the hairdressers, having her shampoo and set 20 years ago. It's very carefully orchestrated, and he knows he's got appeal to women, men and young people. I've been out on the campaign trail with him. People rush up to him to get his autograph. They rush up to him to have their photograph taken with them. If Ed Miliband and David Cameron eat your heart out, nobody does that with those two.
Let's just talk about one of the issues on the front page. It's coming from the conference this morning, Andrew, and that's the announcement that the Prime Minister is going to encourage doctors to open 7 days a week. Dr. Surgeries open 7 days a week. I'm sure a move welcomed by the public, but the doctors are saying it's not going to happen. It's impossible. So it's just a crowd pleaser, isn't it?
Well, it probably is, and of course if the doctors are saying that, Cameron will think he's onto a good thing, because it's probably not the doctors saying that, John, it's probably the British Medical Association, the Doctors' Trade Union, and they oppose most reforms. But most people watching your programme and reading my newspaper are fed up with the fact they can't see a doctor out of hours and they can't see a doctor at the weekend. So at least if they're going to try, we should cheer them on. As I say, whether they'll achieve it, I don't know, but this is really, really part of the fact. If you look into those polls, the Tories, although they're miles ahead of Labour on the economy, not surprising really, bearing in mind the Labour leader forgot to talk about the economy in his speech last week, but they are miles behind Labour on the NHS. So this is Cameron's attempt to claw back, and I can tell you in his speech tomorrow you'll hear a little bit about his son Ivan, who sadly died and was always treated by the NHS.